Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be looking at serialism. Serialism is a method of composition that uses a series of values to manipulate different musical elements. Developed in the early 20th century, it represents a significant shift from traditional tonal music to a more structured, yet atonal approach. Serialism is most closely associated with the Second Viennese School, particularly Arnold Schoenberg, who pioneered the 12-tone technique. Serialism emerged in the aftermath of World War I, a period marked by profound social, political and cultural upheaval. The late Romantic era's lush harmonies and expressive excesses had reached their limits, leading composers to seek new ways of organising musical material. So Arnold Schoenberg, along with his students Alban Berg and Anton Webern, sought to create a system that provided coherence and structure without relying on traditional tonality. The most famous form of serialism is the 12-tone technique. This method involves arranging the 12 notes of the chromatic scale into a specific sequence or row. This row forms the basis of the composition, ensuring that all notes are treated with equal importance and that no single note dominates. So you'd have your prime, which would be the original order of notes. You can invert them, inversion, retrograde inversion. A 12-tone row can be manipulated in 4 primary ways. Let's have a look at prime, inversion, retrograde, and retrograde inversion. A 12-tone row can be manipulated in 4 primary ways. We're starting somewhere. You have the prime, the original form of the row, inversion, that's flipping the intervals of the row upside down, retrograde, reversing the order of the notes in the row, or retrograde inversion, which would be reversing the order and inverting the intervals. These variations provide a rich palette of material for composers to explore. So it's like, as my composition lecturer always said, minimum material, maximum process. And I think he got that from someone else, so beyond pitch, serialism can be applied to other musical elements as well, other musical parameters. These are, for example, rhythm, dynamics, articulation, timbre. This expanded form of serialism is known as integral or total serialism, and composers like Pierre Boulez and Karlheinz Stockhausen were instrumental in developing and promoting this approach. Then we have atonality. Where would you be without atonality? Serialism often results in atonal music, where there is no central key or tonal centre. This contrasts sharply with the hierarchical structure of traditional tonal music, where certain notes and chords are emphasised more than others. What do I mean by that? You've got the tonic, the dominant, cadences are arranged in certain ways, for instance. But in this serialistic way of writing music, all notes are equal. Some more equal than others. I'm joking. We have Arnold Schoenberg, the father of the 12-tone serialistic method, 12-tone row. Schoenberg's works, such as Suite for Piano Opus 25 and Violin Concerto Opus 36, exemplify his pioneering approach to composition. Well, they just amplify his techniques, really. We have Alban Berg. He was a student of Schoenberg. Berg integrated 12-tone techniques with more traditional and expressive elements. His opera, Wojciech, and lyric suite are notable examples of this. Give them a listen. Anton Webern, another figure. He is known for his concise and highly structured compositions. Webern's works such as Symphony Opus 21 and Variations for Piano Opus 27 epitomise the clarity and precision of 12-tone serialism. And he did work serialistically in one of his pieces, Symphony Opus 21. I talk about that in another video, I think in the canon lecture actually. Here is an example of a mirror canon in Webern's symphony. The second half is a retrograde of the first half. As an additional note, there are palindromic phrases throughout. You can see all the there's palindromes, repetition, mirror canons, so much detail. That's another thing, serialism is not actually this basic, and it was used in medieval times. In canonic writing, the same techniques are used. In canonic writing, you have inversion, retrograde, palindromes, mirror canons, and so on, and you have that in serialism as well. We also have Pierre Boulez. He's a leading figure in integral serialism. Boulez applied serial techniques to multiple musical parameters. His compositions, structures, and les marteaux sans maître are key examples of this approach. We have Karlheinz Stockhausen, another proponent of integral serialism. Stockhausen's works, including Kreuzspiel and Kontrapunkt, showcases innovative use of serial techniques, which again are canonic techniques. So what's the legacy and impact of serialism then, you may be wondering? Well, serialism influenced the course of 20th century music, providing a new framework for composition that departed from traditional tonal systems. While it initially faced resistance from its perceived complexity and lack of immediate emotional appeal, serialism eventually gained acceptance and significantly shaped modern music. Its principles have extended beyond music to influence fields such as architecture, literature and visual arts, where serial structures and methods have been explored. Architecture? That's something to look at in more detail later, but actually beyond serialism into avant-garde, tonality and all that, Xenakis was an architect and his music and architecture are very much connected. I do a video on one of his pieces, Nomos Alpha and the cube technique, but I should do a whole video on Xenakis as an overview as well. That would be interesting. Architecture would be a major influence in Xenakis' compositions, an example being the piece Metastasis, which was composed between 1953 and 1954. Now, the preliminary sketch for Metastasis looked more like blueprints than a score and ended up serving as the basis for the design of the Philips Pavilion. So yes, serialism paved the way for subsequent avant-garde and experimental movements, encouraging composers to investigate new forms of musical organisation. So Xenakis, for instance, took his music to 3D vector spaces. Again, that requires another video. I can't do it justice in a sentence. To conclude this quick overview of serialism, serialism represents a pivotal chapter in the history of music, challenging composers to think beyond conventional tonal frameworks and explore new possibilities for structuring sounds. Its legacy is evident in the works that followed its moment of appearance. Arising. It's evident in the works of countless 20th and 21st century composers who continue to draw inspiration from its revolutionary principles, but also you can see how it was influenced from canonic writing techniques as well. By embracing serialism, composers afterwards expanded the boundaries of musical expression and opened up new horizons for creative exploration. Having said this, to get serious for a minute, yes, while being free and new and different is just another bunch of rules as well. And that's probably a debate for another video. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, the very short video on serialism. Hopefully we can talk more about this in later videos, and if there's anything you want me to expand upon and talk in more depth about, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.